The first note stopped her mid-step. It wasn't loud. It wasn't dramatic. It was soft, trembling slightly, as if the piano itself was breathing. The CEO of one of the city's most powerful companies froze in the marble lobby, her phone slipping from her hand as the sound wrapped around her heart. She hadn't heard that melody in 20 years. Not since the night her first love played it just for her and promised a future that never came. Before this story pulls you deeper, take a second. If emotions, hidden connections, and second chances move you, like the video and subscribe to the channel, because stories like this change the way you see people around you. Evelyn Carter was known as Ice. That was the word employees whispered when they thought she couldn't hear. Ice-cold CEO. Brilliant, ruthless, untouchable. She had built Carter Dynamics from the ground up after inheriting nothing but debt and doubt. Her suits were always perfect, her hair always immaculate, her expression always controlled. No one in that building knew that beneath the armor was a woman who still slept with a piano melody echoing in her dreams, a song written by a poor music student named Lucas Hale who once loved her with everything he had. Down by the lobby's old grand piano sat a man in worn jeans and a faded jacket, his posture slightly tense, like he was ready to bolt if someone yelled at him. Beside the piano bench, a little girl around 8 years old sat swinging her legs, watching him with complete trust. Lucas Hale was not supposed to be there. He was a single dad, struggling to keep life together after loss stacked upon loss. He cleaned offices at night, tuned pianos when he could get the work, and that morning he had brought his daughter Mia with him because her school was closed and he couldn't afford a babysitter. The piano wasn't even meant to be played. It was decorative, a symbol of culture and prestige. But Mia had begged, just one song, Daddy. And Lucas, who had once believed music could save the world, couldn't say no. He told himself he'd play something simple, something safe. His fingers, however, betrayed him. Muscle memory took over, and before he realized it, the melody poured out, the one he wrote at 19 for a girl who believed in him before life taught them both how cruel reality could be. Evelyn's chest tightened. The years collapsed in an instant. She was back in a tiny apartment with peeling paint, sitting on the floor while Lucas played that same melody on a battered upright piano, telling her it was called Promise. He said he wrote it for her because she made him believe in himself. She remembered laughing, crying, loving him so deeply it scared her. She also remembered her father's voice, cold and sharp, telling her love didn't pay debts and music didn't build empires. She walked toward the piano without realizing she was moving. Employees stared. No one had ever seen Evelyn Carter walk toward anything without purpose, yet here she was, eyes shining, breath shallow. When the song ended, the lobby was silent except for Mia's soft clap. "That's my favorite," she said proudly. Lucas looked up, and his world tilted. He recognized her instantly, not because of the suit or the power, but because her eyes were the same. The same eyes that once looked at him like he was enough. His hands trembled. He stood up too fast, knocking the bench back. I'm sorry," he said quickly. "I'll leave. I didn't mean to." Lucas. Evelyn's voice cracked. One word, 20 years of history. Mia looked between them, confused. "Daddy, do you know the piano lady?" Lucas swallowed. We used to." That was the beginning of a reckoning neither of them had prepared for. Evelyn invited them to her office, shocking her assistants and herself. Lucas resisted at first, pride screaming at him to run, but Mia's curiosity and Evelyn's insistence won. In the elevator, silence pressed in. Old wounds hovered unspoken. Evelyn noticed the lines on Lucas's face, the exhaustion in his shoulders, the way he kept glancing at his daughter like she was his anchor. Over coffee that went untouched, truth spilled slowly. Lucas told her about his life, how after she left, he chased music until reality crushed him, how Mia's mother died when Mia was 3, how every day since had been a balancing act between grief and survival. Evelyn listened, her heart aching with a guilt she had buried under ambition. She told him about her climb, the loneliness, the nights staring at city lights wondering what her life might have been if she had stayed. Then came the challenge neither could avoid. Evelyn's company was about to shut down community arts funding, including the small program that paid Lucas for occasional tuning work. It was business. It made sense on paper. But now the paper had a face, a child, a song. Lucas didn't ask for help. That hurt her more than if he had. He stood to leave, thanking her for listening, ready to disappear again. Something in Evelyn broke. For the first time in decades, she chose differently. She stopped him and asked him to play again, not for nostalgia, but for truth. He played. Not just promise, but new music, shaped by loss, love, and resilience. Employees gathered quietly outside the office. Some cried. Evelyn realized then that she had built a powerful company but starved her own soul. The resolution didn't come overnight. It came through hard conversations, boardroom fights, and courage. Evelyn reinstated the arts program and expanded it, facing backlash and doubt. Lucas accepted a role leading community music initiatives, terrified but hopeful. They didn't rush romance. They rebuilt trust slowly, carefully, with Mia at the center. Months later, the lobby piano was no longer silent. Music became part of the building's heartbeat. Mia performed her first recital there, beaming as Evelyn watched from the front row, tears unashamed. Lucas played beside his daughter, and when he slipped, promise, into the performance, Evelyn smiled, not in pain, but in peace. The story didn't end with a fairy tale kiss. It ended with something stronger: forgiveness, purpose, and the understanding that it's never too late to choose what truly matters. The single dad didn't just play a melody. He reminded a powerful woman of who she was before the world told her who to be. And sometimes, one song is enough to change everything. If this story touched you, remember, every person you pass carries a song you haven't heard yet. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and stay with us for more stories that remind us where the heart truly belongs.